The moment she said, "Stop acting like we are married," something inside me shifted. For months, I had been the one planning our dates, fixing her problems, and trying to build a future with her. But suddenly it felt like she was pushing me back into the role of a stranger. I didn't fight her words. I simply nodded and said, "You're right." She didn't notice the change in my tone, but it was the moment everything quietly started to fall apart. For the next few days, I stopped doing the little things she had gotten used to. No good morning texts, no reminders to eat, no checking up on her long shifts. At first, she didn't say anything. She seemed relieved, even. She thought she had won some kind of freedom. But she didn't realize she was losing something bigger. She didn't understand that her sentence had rebuilt the boundaries she had once begged me to erase. When we met that weekend, she looked at me strangely. I wasn't opening her car door, wasn't holding her hand immediately, wasn't rushing to make everything smooth. I treated her the way she treated me, distant, careful, and non-committal. She tried to joke about it, but her smile didn't reach her eyes. For the first time, she saw what it felt like when I stopped giving her the version of me she had taken for granted. The weeks went by, and the silence grew heavier. She started calling more often, asking where I was, why I didn't seem as close, why I didn't talk about plans anymore. I answered politely, casually, the way someone does with a person who is no longer the center of their world. It bothered her, but she didn't know how to admit it. She thought she could push me away and I'd still stay exactly where she left me. One night, we sat across from each other in a small cafe. She finally asked the question she had been trying to avoid. Did I do something wrong? She said softly. I looked at her for a long moment before answering. You told me not to act like we are married, I replied. So I stopped acting like someone who's building a future with you. The silence after that was colder than the air between us. Her eyes trembled slightly. I could see the panic she was trying to hide. She hadn't expected me to take her words seriously. She had said them in frustration, not realizing they would change the way I saw our relationship. She thought I would fight, chase, reassure her. Instead, I had stepped back and let her feel the emptiness she had created. Over the next few days, she tried to make up for it. She planned a date for the first time in months. She surprised me with small gestures she never used to make, coffee at work, long calls at night, small compliments. But something between us had shifted too deeply. Her efforts felt forced, as if she was trying to glue back a vase she had shattered herself. One evening, she came over to my place unannounced. She hugged me tightly and whispered, I didn't mean it. I was scared. I thought you were getting too serious. I pulled back gently and looked into her worried eyes. I was serious, I said. But you didn't want that. I just respected what you asked for. She broke down then, realizing the weight of her own words. We spent hours talking, but the truth was clear. She wanted the commitment only when she felt it slipping away. She wanted the security of my love without the responsibility of reciprocating it. And for the first time, I didn't feel angry. I just felt tired. Tired of pouring into someone who wasn't sure they wanted to be poured into. A few days later, we decided to take a break, although deep down, both of us knew it was more than a break. She cried as she walked away, and I stood there watching her leave, feeling strangely calm. The version of me who would have begged her to stay no longer existed. Weeks passed, and she texted a few times, asking if we could talk. I replied kindly but didn't initiate anything. I had finally learned to give my energy only where it was valued. The distance she had asked for had become the reality she couldn't escape anymore. In the end, her sentence became the turning point of our relationship. She said, "Stop acting like we are married," thinking it would give her freedom. Instead, it showed me exactly how temporary I was in her life. And once I saw that clearly, there was no going back.